everybody, John Elzinga again, and tonight I want to talk about the little things. When it comes to servant leadership, our minds could go crazy thinking about all the things that we need to do, we have to do, we want to do, that we can't possibly do. We don't have the time, we don't have the resources, we just can't do it, but we want to do it, and we feel like it's out of reach. But the reality that I have found with servant leaders that is about the little things. You see, servant leaders have this knack of seeing something small, something little that they can do for somebody in real time right now, even if it's for 30 seconds or 3 minutes. It doesn't have to be a big thing to make an impact, to make a difference in somebody's life. I want to tell you a story about two little things that surrounded this same story about 6 years ago. Something that I realized was significant enough to hang on to it. When I first moved to Northwest Iowa, I came here so that I could work for Pizza Ranch, which is where I work right now, a company of about 200 restaurant units in about 13 states, not a company without significance. And the first 9-10 months of my first year here, I worked in the restaurant. Now I came here to teach and talk about leadership, as I'm doing now, to teach and talk about guest service and culture building and that kind of thing. But I really needed to invest myself in the life of the restaurant so that I knew and I could talk with authority about what restaurant owners and managers have to go through on a day-to-day basis in order to serve their guests. Well, I got into the restaurant, and as in most restaurants, we hire a lot of high school and college age kids. And so I got in there, and I'm working from day to day, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm this old guy that's working, that's rubbing shoulders with high school and college age kids. They're not going to listen to me. What can I do for them, with them, to make them, to make even a difference? And I don't know, one of these days I just had this wild idea. And my idea centered around what happens when we first come in the morning, when we first come in our shift, and we see our friends and the people that we know, our fellow team members, and it's a typical thing, hey, how's it going? And you get the typical answer, fine, good, that kind of stuff. It's really a non-answer. And so one day I thought, you know what I'm going to do? When somebody says, hey, how's it going? Here's what I'm going to say. It's a great day to serve the Lord. What? Huh? What was that? Well, what I wanted to communicate in that one sentence was this. First, I don't care what you're doing. Whether you're making chicken for the chicken bar, whether you're making pizza for the pizza bar, whether you're making salad, whether you're up front talking to the guests, whatever you're doing, you can be serving the Lord in that very act. The second thing I wanted to communicate is that, you know what? I could be having a bad day, but it's still a great day to serve the Lord. Because the reality is that every single day that we have is a gift given to us, and we need to cherish that time. We need to cherish that gift. Well, I started saying it, and it was like pretty soon I just started saying it randomly throughout the day, throughout the shift. It was like, hey, it's a great day to serve the Lord. Hey, you know what? It's a great day to serve the Lord. and I would say it 10 or 15 times a day, 10 or 15 times in a shift. And after a couple of months of this, I was pretty sure they were getting sick of hearing it. After a couple of months of this, I was pretty sure that someday somebody would say, okay, John, we get it. Enough already. I've heard it. But what happened kind of surprised me. After a couple of months of doing that every day, repeatedly, just kind of off the cuff, all of a sudden what I realized is there were other people. When they saw me, they would say, hey, John, it's a great day to serve the Lord. To this day, in our corporate office, when it comes to myself and our owner and founder, Adri Grunewig, we have like a competition. The first time our eyes meet, who's going to say it first? Well, so I went through the year and doing this kind of thing, and there was a high school football player, a great guy, who he's one of the guys I used to say this with. And he invited my wife and I to his graduation party when he graduated from high school. And so I gave him, as a present, I gave him one of my books. And about a week and a half later, something showed up at our corporate office for me. Here's the second thing. So the first thing was a simple phrase. The second thing was this thing that showed up at the corporate office for me about a week and a half later. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen these things or not, but it's called a note, a handwritten note. It's amazing. Like in his own writing. I'm not talking about a tweet. I'm not talking about an email. I'm talking about a handwritten note. It's a phenomenal thing. And I opened the note. And he said, basically, and I'm going to paraphrase, he said, John, thanks so much for the book. And he said a couple other things. And do you know how he signed it? It's a great day to serve the Lord. And in that minute, I realized that this old man had an impact on that young man's life. Today, that young man has gone through college. He is married. He's out on his own in the workplace. And when I see him, even now, he'll say, hey, John, it's a great day to serve the Lord. You see, to be a servant leader, it doesn't require a lot. It's about the little things. So ask yourself, what little thing can I do for somebody right now? It could be what I say. It could be just a sentence, a paragraph, something I say to bless somebody. It could be a visit to the hospital. It could be buying somebody a cappuccino because you happen to know they like a cappuccino. It could be just writing a handwritten note and saying, hey, Joe, I really watched and saw how you interacted with your guests today. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Mary, thank you so much for your smiles and your positive attitudes. I want you to know it doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you. If you haven't figured this out, I'm a big believer in handwritten notes. It's a lost art. But it's about the little things. So many little things that we can do for somebody at any given moment of the day, at any time. And so, as a servant leader, keep your eyes open for those little things. And that's my thought for today. Now, I want you to know, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but I actually happen to have wristbands that say, it's a great day to serve the Lord on the wristband. And you could get these on my website, johnelzinga.com. And go to the products tab, and there'll be 2 wristbands available. One is this saying, it's a great day to serve the Lord. And there's a second one, I'll talk about this some other time, is another saying that I use in one of my seminars, and that is simply, when you see people with your heart above your head. Hope you've appreciated this vlog today. God bless you, and may you be a blessing to others. Thanks a lot.